Neal Atkinson from BetSaracen's joining us every Friday. So things are a little bit slower these days in sports.
It's slower on the sports content side, but it's not so slow on the contract negotiation. Like NFL data deals, NCAA data deals. Just re-upping. We're going into our third year of operation, and all of our data contracts are up. And because of the success of BetSaracen, we've really been able to leverage our place in the marketplace. And I'm really excited about, and it looks like everything's going to come together over the next week before we go for the 4th of July holiday. And I'll be able to make some really, really significant announcements about how we're going to cover some of these professional leagues and other leagues and added to content. And it looks like it's shaping up to be a very exciting year for BetSaracen with what we've got on the table right now.
I do see that there is an interesting, I guess you'd say, boxing match tomorrow with Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, Paul's a boxer now. There's no other way to put it. I mean, he's still the YouTube guy, and he still attracts a different kind of attention that I remember from most professional boxers. But do his fights generate a good amount of attention on BetSaracen and the betting community overall?
Yeah, they do. I mean, the Jake Paul-Tyson fight was one of the biggest handle fights that we've had since we've been online. So his name is out there. I mean, his popularity is out there. And of course, anytime you put Mike Tyson back in the ring, that's gonna give anybody's attention. Even us old guys that used to watch Tyson back in his prime, we see that. We're going to watch and we're going to tune in. And people that watch boxing, they tend to put a little wager and bet on it. So, this fight with the hype that it has, of course, I don't know Jake Paul and I think Piers Morgan had a little run in earlier last night. But you don't know how much of that's theatrics or how much it is. He took offense to I think Piers Morgan telling him that if he would have fought Tyson in his prime, he wouldn't have won. So, Paul is actually a very heavy favorite in this fight. He's minus 650 on winning it, and but I think that has a lot to do with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't had a very meaningful fight in a long time. And there is the size difference there. So I think that has to do with what the odds makers are doing. So, and again, we got all the usual props, the rounds and all of that. If you'll check under the special menu. And if you don't want to pay for the pay-per-view, just come on down to Saracen. We'll have it up. We'll have a big crowd. We'll have it on the big screen. Should have a big crowd in there anyway, giving away the car. So it's going to be a big night on property at Saracen with both that fight and the car giveaway.
Well, tell me about the car giveaway, because BetSaracen, of course, Saracen Casino right there, Saracen Casino Resort in Pine Bluff. It's short drive from Little Rock, not really that far from a lot of other parts of our listening audience. What's the car giveaway, and how could people be a part of that?
Well, the good news is it's still not too late to get in, but we're giving away a Nissan Armada, that nice big SUV. We're going to be giving it away at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. The good news is that if you played any at Saracen this month on your player's card, either in the slot machine or the table games, you've already got entries in there, and you want to come and activate them tomorrow night after 8 p.m. to be in for that drawing. Now, we've got some free play drawings before that. If you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, don't hesitate to come down and get your player's card. Make sure you play on it. And it activates your interest if you're playing on that night. And we have had somebody come in, brand new customer, come in about an hour before the drawing, get a player's card, start playing, and their name was called, and they got the box with the car with the key in it. So it is possible, and it has happened. So, but yeah, that's a big night. We have a lot of people come that have been all month, and they just want to get a chance for that free play and drive home in that beautiful Nissan Armada that we got sitting up front there tomorrow night.
So, basketball fans can stick with basketball and WNBA. There's the Big Three League, the 3-on-3 league. You can access that as well on BetSaracen. MMA. Table tennis is still the most popular, and then I end up learning about sports that I'd never heard of before just by going on the app, Neal. And here's a sport called, it looks like it's a form of indoor soccer called futsal. which I'd never heard of this before. When I first looked at it, I thought it was foosball, but no, it's futsal, Futsal, and you can bet it on BetSaracen.
Yeah, I mean, soccer is the biggest sport in the world now. Not in the United States, but in the world, soccer is. And that's basically the equivalent to like the indoor arena football league. It's got a little bit different rules, and it is very popular. And it's content that are on our feeds. Why not offer it? We get a little action on it, but yeah. And don't forget that that Club World Cup is going on. Those games are being played in the U.S. and probably the one that we have that is getting the most attention there is the Paris Club versus Inter Miami. And if you'll check on our soccer specials, everybody knows Messi, or he's probably the biggest name right now. And that's a Major League Soccer club, Inter Miami, that's playing in that. And we've got some specials on him, whether or not that he would score, how many assists, how many fouls, goals. If he's going to score a header, it's plus 2,500. So he is the star as far as anybody in a U.S. club over here. And we'll, that's where we're getting most of the action. Of course, you always got the CONCACAF Go Cup going on right now, also in soccer. So, and with the World Cup proper going to be here next year, we're going to be expanding our coverage and looking at the different streaming options that we have for this because it is growing in popularity. And right now in soccer, I guess in the U.S., the Club World Cup is the biggest event going on there.
I saw just before the draft, Cooper Flagg was minus 20,000 to go first overall. So I'm assuming that not many people took those odds. But I do see here on BetSaracen he's minus 200 for Rookie of the Year. And I think when it comes to some of these special bets, you want to get in on that early. It doesn't necessarily have to be now or early in the basketball season, but, it became pretty obvious. Cooper Flagg was going to be the first overall pick as the basketball season went through. So I look at the football draft right now. You guys have odds up for the NFL draft. Arch Manning is plus, I think, 220. Who knows if that goes through? If he's playing how people might expect in the football season, those odds will obviously lean a lot more towards the negative side. So this is the time maybe to get in on those preseason specials.
Yeah, and the good thing about those specials is, I don't advocate anybody, taking a huge position this far early in it. But heck, if you've got an extra $1 or $2 in your account and you want to make a speculation, and that way you have something to ride for the rest of the year, or you never know. You could put together a parlay, and you may have a wonderful hedge opportunity later on in the season if you put together a parlay. That I don't know. There was a big gambling story that was going on the last couple of weeks for somebody that had picked the Super Bowl winner, the he had the Edmonton Oilers, which they didn't win. And he had the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it would I think it was a $13 bet that would have paid over $250,000. And before the series start with Edmonton and the Panthers, and before the Thunder Pacers series start, he had a cash-out offer at one time of $125,000 on that $13 bet. And at the end of the day, once the series started and Edmonton fell behind, it dropped down to $60,000 and to $40,000. But they claim, and they did some verification, that he was able to go and hedge his bets and guarantee a $75,000 profit off of that $13 initial bet that he put together, speculating this early in the season. So those are kind of like lottery tickets, hit your pick three number type thing, lightning strikes. But if you think about it and put a couple of scenarios together and throw a couple of dollars at it, you can have a season long sweat for a big payout and maybe have a hedge opportunity. And that was a neat story to follow that I was following the last couple of weeks.
Obviously, Neal, and we'll finish here. If you worked in the gambling industry as long as you have, you've probably been a boxing fan too, because those sports gambling and boxing went together about as good as anything else for a long time.
Yeah.
When I see Jake Paul's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Jr.'s age 39, I think of one of the most sure bets in the history of boxing was to put your money on Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And at age 39, I think he'd have taken Jake Paul down.
Well, as a bookmaker, I do not give betting advice, but I have benchmark competitor, and I did not pick Jake Paul, so I'll let you read into that one where I went on this one. So it is more for fun than it is for anything. It's not a large amount of money, but, hey, I'm getting 4.5 to 1 on my money. Why not?
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.